I take buyers into new homes all the time, and I can tell you there are some really bad mistakes that homeowners are making when staging their home. The way that I know that it's a mistake is that I can hear what the buyers are saying. Hey everyone, I'm Sara Kilgore and I'm a real estate agent with First Class Real Estate in Southeast Virginia. Now let's get into it. Let's talk staging. And this doesn't just go for homeowners who are thinking about selling their house. This goes for every homeowner. First impressions are everything. So what is a buyer seeing when they walk into your home? Staging is important for many reasons. If you're listing your home, do you know that the photos that go on the MLS last forever? Do you know that the photos go worldwide? It's important to prep your home for these listing photos because these listing photos are what's going to hook the buyer into coming to see your home. So what we want to do is appeal to the largest pool of buyers that we possibly can. The reason why? We want to get the best deal that we can for your house. Guys, photos matter, and because of that, staging matters. The second reason that staging is important besides the photos is that first impressions last. When someone walks into your house, you want them to say, wow, not whoa. You want a buyer to be able to imagine themselves living there. They want to picture their furniture there. They want to picture their lives there. They want to know how every room functions and how they would use it. Lastly, a well-staged home brings in more money. Let's face it, if it's a well-staged home, more people want it, more people are willing to buy it. Bottom line, the homes that sell the fastest are the ones that are ready for market. Now, here are 3 mistakes to avoid when staging your home. Number 1 is too much clutter. When you've lived in your home for a long time, things just start to accumulate. These items are personal, they're valuable, they hold memories for you, and they are important. But when it comes to selling your home, less is more. Too many items can make your house seem smaller than it is. It can also be very distracting and overwhelming to the buyers who are viewing your home. Let's face it, they end up looking through your stuff more than they end up seeing the house. It becomes really difficult for them to imagine their life in that home. So here are a couple of ways that you can declutter your home. First, prepare to move half of your stuff out. I know that seems like a lot, but again, we accumulate things over time, and you don't need it all when you're showing your house. You're moving anyways, you might as well get started. Remove any furniture that is not necessary. You may have extra furniture to be able to see all of your family members or guests that may come over, but you don't need that when you're staging your home. So take out furniture that you don't absolutely need, and take out things that take up some floor space, like footstools or side tables. Maybe you have several side tables, and maybe you can take out a couple of them. The second thing you can do is remove knickknacks. You don't need a lot of items per surface. If you have a coffee table and there's more than 3 things on that coffee table, just go ahead and take them off, put them in storage, and get ready for the move. We recommend having less than 3 items per surface. If it's a bookshelf, sure, put a few more books on there, but you want to declutter those bookshelves as much as possible. Also, don't forget to clear off that refrigerator. Sorry kids, your drawings are going to have to go in storage. You'll also want to declutter closets and storage areas as well as drawers and cabinets. The reason why is because people are going to poke around and they're looking for storage. They want to know that your house has enough storage for their things. So the more full your storage areas are, the less it seems like there is available. I've been into many homes where I've opened the closet door only to see it completely stuffed, as in move one thing and all of it's gonna come flying out. The second mistake to avoid when staging your home to sell it is sometimes a house can just be too lived in. When you live in a house for a long time, there's things that you become accustomed to seeing that you just don't see anymore. So let's take a fresh look at a couple of these areas. So you'll want to clean up areas that are high traffic areas. For example, one thing that I notice a lot when I go into homes is that the doors have a lot of dirty fingerprints on them. The light switches are dirty. The baseboards are dirty. The windows on the doors are dirty, have fingerprints, have dog snout marks on them. So you just want to make sure to look at those things with some fresh eyes and clean them. You can do that with a magic eraser. You can put a fresh coat of paint on it. Just want to make sure that these areas that look really lived in get a little bit of a facelift. Okay, now this one might sound a little bit obvious, but you'd be surprised. Make sure that your house has been cleaned before you start showings. What I mean by that is a lot of times I walked into homes to show a buyer a house and there are dirty dishes in the sink, there are, shoes by the door, things like that that just haven't been picked up. I highly recommend having a professional come in and clean your house when you know that you're going to be putting it on the market, and B, make sure that it doesn't look lived in. You want to keep in mind that people want to see a house that looks just like the photos, so make sure to pick up all of those personal items before you leave. Another thing that we want to be careful of is pet odors. Now, I know we all love our pets, they are family members, but at the end of the day, they are animals, and sometimes they can have an odor that maybe not every home buyer is going to be accustomed to or overlook. A great thing to do before you list your house is to have your carpet shampooed, maybe even your furniture, maybe light some candles or have some plug-ins, something like that that can make the house smell more fresh. And lastly, open up your blinds, open up your curtains, make sure it's nice and bright inside. Nobody wants to walk into a dark house because immediately that gives them the impression that the house is much smaller than it is. Create a welcoming environment. If you want to leave on some music, agents will most of the time flip on lights, but it's nice if you turn on your table lamps. I think that adds a nice ambiance and a nice welcoming feel for the buyers. The third mistake homeowners make is that they've left their home too personal. A great thing to do is to remove anything from your house that has pictures of you, pictures of your kids, your names on trophies, anything like that that would indicate who you are. I would take those off the wall, take them off your shelves, and go ahead and put them in storage. The reason for that is that, again, these photos are going worldwide. You want to make sure that you protect your identity and protect the identity of your kids. The second thing that you can do is remove items of value. If there's anything that is sentimental to you that is sitting on an open shelf that could be easily swiped, please go ahead and put those away and put those in storage. As much as we would like to believe that people would not steal anything from your home, you can never be too sure. The best thing to do is go ahead and put those things away. You can put them in a storage bin and put them in your garage, or you can take them off-site. Another thing that makes a home too personal are the colors. Now, we all have our own personal style, and that is fantastic. Sometimes people like really bright colors, some people like really dark colors. It's all over the place. We are all individuals, and we all have a different taste and a different style that makes our home unique. But when it comes to buyers, you want to create a blank canvas that a buyer can come in and imagine their life there. Not only that, but they want to feel like the house is move-in ready. They can live with a white or a light colored wall, not necessarily a bright red wall. So if you can return all of the walls to a very neutral color, I highly suggest that you do that. One exception would be kids' rooms. People tend to assume that a kid's room is going to be a bright and fun color. That wraps up our 3 biggest mistakes that homeowners make when staging their home. Too much clutter, too lived in, and too personal. These are very easy fixes, very inexpensive fixes, but they will make a huge difference to the first impression and the impact that your house can make. Remember, you create a home, but you sell a house. So think of it as selling a piece of property, not necessarily the sentimental items that you have accumulated. Think of this as a business transaction at the end of the day where you want to get the most amount of money possible out of your home. So if you get the feedback from your real estate agent that a few things need to go or that a few things need to change, don't be offended by those things. Just simply make the changes based on their expertise and what will give you the highest likelihood that the house will sell for the most amount of money. If you like this video, please subscribe and like it. And if you have any comments or questions, make sure you drop them below.